Welcome back to another episode of the Sarasota County Schools In Tune podcast. I'm Chris Parento, your host for this episode. And it's hard to believe that we are already in the middle of November and Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It's been somewhat of a hectic start to the first semester of the school year, but this community has been behind our district, our staff, and our students every step of the way. On this episode, I wanted to bring back Superintendent Connor to talk a little bit more about that and about what we're looking ahead to as we head into Thanksgiving break. Superintendent, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me back.
Many people are aware that earlier this month, our district had a continuation of the millage referendum on the ballot. This was one of nearly 24 ballot measures from school districts across the state asking voters to continue or support new funding for schools. Not only did our local community support that continuation of the millage, but ours also received the highest approval of all millage referenda on ballots across the state. What does that support from the community mean to you as superintendent?
When you look at 84% as an approval rating in any ballot measure, it really just is unbelievable. I was blown away at that particular percentage because it just shows how strong this community really does believe in public education and supporting that with their own money. You know, taxpayers have invested in this community for over 22 years, and to see that for the first time on a general ballot with over 255,000 total votes cast, 214,000 people said yes, really was remarkable. And it just really shows how much Sarasota County truly is invested. And I just have to say, I couldn't be more proud to represent this community and this school district.
I know that a lot of work went into making sure that the community was not only aware that this was on the ballot, especially with it being the first time that it was in a general election, but also a very crowded ballot and this being at the end of it, but also to make sure that they were informed and educated on how this money is going to continue to be used to support our school system. Can you talk about the engagement with our community throughout that process?
For us, engaging the community was a really important aspect of this whole campaign. We knew we were going in as underdogs with a local issue on top of a presidential election. And so, working very hard to get out and about and meet as many people as we could. The people understand the value of investing in the referendum here in Sarasota County and what that goes towards. We did a really good job in creating a very robust website that I think drove a lot of traffic. Over 386,000 impressions were made over the course of the referendum to that website. Over 20 community events that really allowed community members to learn more and ask questions about the referendum. And the social media aspect of this was tremendous. Over 200 social media posts were made, graphics were sent out, our schools were involved, PTAs were involved, SACs were involved, outside organizations were helping support this referendum. And so we had thousands and thousands of people engaging through that social media. We do know that that's really the primary source in which most people get their information now. And so I'm really thankful that we were able to allow the community to be educated about what the referendum does and what it supports. Not once did we say to vote for or against, we just educated the community. And I think that helped people go to the ballot box with a clear understanding of where their dollars were going. And obviously that resulted in a very high approval rating.
Changing gears a little bit off of the referendum, we did have a couple of big disruptions to the beginning of the school year with Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton impacting our community. And that doesn't even take into account Tropical Storm Debbie, which impacted our area before students even returned to class at the start of the year. I know the work of shelter staff has been talked about throughout the aftermath of those storms, but how much does it mean as superintendent to know that these folks were able to provide a safe and welcoming space for evacuees during these storms, and then we were able to turn that right around to have students back in class less than a week after Hurricane Milton impacted our area?
I am so proud of the staff members who worked around the clock to make sure that our evacuation centers were up and ready and available to help our community. It really, I don't know that the community truly sometimes understands how involved school district personnel are in operating a hurricane shelter. We work in partnership with the county, but we actually, as school district administrators and essential employees, operate those shelters. We make sure that there's food, the meals are served. We make sure that things are clean. We address a lot of the issues of our community members and guests who are there. And so it takes really the entire team to make that happen. During Milton, we opened up 17 evacuation centers in collaboration with our county partners, and we hosted over 10,000 community members and over 1,600 pets during that. Now, when you think about having hundreds of pets in one location, you can imagine some of the smells and some of the things that you have to deal with. And so it's a challenge, when you put a lot of people under a roof and you're there for a long time and the power goes out, people can get a little agitated. They're a little frightened already from being in the midst of a storm. It can be an intense situation. And I got to tell you, I received so many emails from community members complimenting what our staff was able to do during that time in terms of just making people feel comfortable, supporting them. There are testimonies after testimonies and stories of how positive that interaction was because our people step up. And I'm just very, very proud of our staff who worked around the clock. They made personal sacrifices, leaving their homes, leaving their families to run these shelters. As soon as it was over, it was time to clean up and get school back in order because we did understand that returning to normalcy was going to be priority to get this community back on its feet. And if schools aren't in session, that disrupts that whole part. And so we were able to get schools back in session very, very quickly afterwards. And that in and of itself is a huge undertaking. And our staff stepped up to do that. We were clearing debris the day after the storm passed. We were out assessing all of our facilities. We were doing the maintenance and repairs that needed to be done. Fortunately, we were not significantly impacted as we were in Ian, so we were able to do that. We're thankful for that. I couldn't be more proud of our custodial staff, our administrators, our food nutritions, facilities, everyone who was a part of that essential work process. Hats off to them.
I know you've been out and about in schools since classes resumed after Hurricane Milton. It really does seem like staff and students came back focused despite those challenges, despite some changes to the calendar, and have really been working hard to make sure they have a really strong finish to this first semester.
I had the opportunity to get out into schools the day we returned and to see the smile on the faces of everyone, really the students and the adults that were just like, they were very fortunate that there wasn't very significant damage, but very fortunate to be back into a routine and ready to learn. So as I was out and about to see the continuity of instruction just pick right back up from where it left off, it was a great sight. That all goes with saying, though, we knew that people were facing some very personal challenges, whether they lost their vehicle or their house was damaged or whatever their personal circumstances. And we were fortunate and very thankful that our governor came in very soon after and held a press conference right here in Sarasota at Booker High School and issued the 5 districts in the surrounding area $100,000 each from the Florida Disaster Relief Fund. And that has been very helpful for us. We've able to administer that money out to people who had some significant challenges in getting back on their feet. And so I want to thank our Education Foundation of Sarasota County for helping in that process, administer that, and thank our governor and those involved in getting those funds here. And we were able to really quickly help people. That's been wonderful to see. So happy to see that people got back focused. As schools, we service students just beyond academics. We may be the only meals that some students get throughout the week. And so it's really encouraging to see us get back to action quickly so that we can service our community in ways, whether it's providing meals to students, giving them some stability that they be lacking at home.
We have a program here that some people may know about and others may not, and that's the SCS Cares program. This program is an opportunity for families, for staff members, for the community to recognize some of the great work of our employees going above and beyond to help others. This past school board meeting, you were able to recognize each of the winners from the monthly SCS Cares recognition over the last year. What does it mean to you? Because I know you see a lot of the submissions that come in. To see that feedback on how many of our employees go above and beyond each and every single day.
It truly is inspiring to see how much this has really caught fire within our school district. We get hundreds of submissions. Great things are happening in every classroom, in every hallway, in every office throughout this district each and every day. And this has been a great way for people to submit that, to elevate that to a level where we can recognize that at a district level and really show people how much we care about the great things they're doing. And I'm thankful for this initiative. I think that it really is a very special recognition, and it allows people to, be in the spotlight when so many times that these great things are happening and no one knows that they are.
As you're taking part in these recognition presentations at the school where the person receiving the accolades is there, but also the person who acknowledged them is there and they're able to interact together. What's it like to see that emotion, how much it means to those people?
It's funny when you see the surprise, right? When they find out that they have been nominated and then find out who nominated them and see the reactions on their faces, the smiles that happens, the hugs that happen. It really is a heartwarming feeling, and it's just a great way to recognize people. So often we recognize whether it's the teacher of the year, the employee of the year, but there are so many other opportunities that we can elevate someone for doing great things. And that's what I like about SCS Cares, is that it gives us multiple opportunities throughout the year to do that.
We talked at the start about the referendum and the community support for that. And one of the things that those referendum dollars, a portion of them go to, is teachers and staff salaries. And the board recently approved a 2-year contract with SCTA, which will make our teachers among the highest paid in the state, really rewarding them for the great work that they do every single day.
I wish we could pay teachers $100,000 a year. And I'm so fortunate to work with a board who really understands the value of recognizing our teachers and our employees each and every day. And no, that doesn't always come with just salaries. We know that. Our SCS Cares program is an example of that. But we should put our money where our mouth is and put as much money in the pockets of those who are doing great work each and every day. And this board has been committed to that. And the collaboration with SCTA to make that happen, I'm also thankful for. This year we are now at $57,500 for our starting salaries for teachers. And next year we will break the $60,000 mark for a beginning teacher in our school district. And that puts us only second to Monroe County in the Keys. And we all know what the cost of living there is. So thankful for that. It puts us at the top. And, the stability of having a teacher remain in this district is so important. It's not only about recruiting, but it's about retention. And we know money is not everything, but as we can start there and get people to stay and then grow them professionally throughout their career and they stay with us, man, our students are going to be in a very, very good position.
Superintendent, as we head into this Thanksgiving break, this fall break here on the district calendar, what is your message to teachers, to staff, and to families during that time?
Well, I can tell you it's been a rocky start to the year with all of disruptions with the storm, but the resilience of our staff, the ability for us to remain focused, I couldn't ask for anything more. And, as we head into the holidays, we have a time to rejuvenate, relax, renew, and reflect. I just want to say, first off, thank you to everyone in this organization for what you do each and every single day. I hope that each of you have a relaxing holiday, and I hope you come back as we approach the new year. We got a few more weeks before we hit that winter break, but you come back rejuvenated and really excited about the future of Sarasota County Schools.
Superintendent Connor, thank you so much for your time today. We hope you all have enjoyed this episode of the In Tune podcast. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, and we hope you'll join us again next time.